Welcome back to the FM LLaMa, you wonderful, wonderful people. This is the start of Season 3. If you're only just discovering the save, why not treat yourselves and go back to that very first episode and binge watch to your heart's content. It'll be a treat for at least one of the senses. In this save, we have loaded up Germany as our core nation down to its bottom playable division. But we've also loaded every league that shares a land border with Germany as well. We've loaded them to their bottom playable divisions, and we've started unemployed, badgeless, experienceless, and looking for a job. But luckily, the good folk at Chrobry Glogow took pity on us and gave us our managerial debut in our first season. We battled hard in our second season. We experienced some good times. And the third season has started woefully. The first season in Chrobry Glogow's history that they have graced the Polish top division. And the opening day of the season was marred by a 6-0 away defeat to Lechia Gdansk. That was followed by a 3-1 defeat to fellow promotees Zagłębie Sosnowiec. This is the team that Chrobry beat to the Polish second division title by 20 clear points last season, but Chrobry could not get the better of them on that occasion. And then their latest result was a heartbreaking 3-2 defeat to Górnik Zabrze. However, we cannot blame these defeats on the management of Tonton Zola Makoko, who is now managing elsewhere. Bonjour mon ami, welcome to the south of France, to the beautiful Côte d'Azur. We have moved away from wintry Poland and we have jetted into warmer climes. We have taken a job with Sporting Club Toulon. So it was an eventful pre-season. Chrobry offered us a contract. They upped the wages to £1,000 per week. The job market was looking devoid of interesting opportunities. We applied for a job with Energy Cottbus and were laughed out of town. We applied for a job with Ligue 2 side Nancy and was similarly rejected. The only other job that just pricked our interest was at Sporting Club Toulon in the French Nationale, the third division in France. And would you, Adam and Eve, they only go and offer us a contract, a 2-year deal no less, on £1,800 per week. So we are living the high life now. We have jetted into the south of France. We have taken over at Sporting Club Toulon, and today we are going to introduce you to the team and play our opening fixture. So when we first arrived at Sporting Club Toulon, it was a little bit like purchasing a new house and having a little bit of buyer's remorse. We moved in on the first day and the place felt a little bit empty, and we started to think, had we made a little bit of an error leaving a comfortable job at Chrobry Glogow? But just like when you move into a new home, as soon as you start bringing in some of your own furniture, the place doesn't half start to feel a little bit more comfortable. And we have bought in some of our own furniture in this transfer window just to furnish Toulon with a few familiar faces, starting with who else but Petar Musa, who is the chaise longue to our analogy, and mighty fine he's looking in a Toulon shirt as well. So we went to bring in Petar Musa on loan, who we'd had on loan for the past season and a half at Chrobry, only to find out that the good folk at Slavia Prague had released him on a free transfer. So we made him an offer and we've had to pay him a pretty penny to get him to come. But to have the Moose leading the line for us this season is going to be absolutely wonderful. And just to keep him company, we've brought in another familiar face on loan, Lukas Husek, the 6'7" Czech centre-half who joins for the season from Sparta Prague. The Moose is Croatian, not Czech, but he does speak the same language as Husek, so hopefully those two rascals will help each other settle in. So let's introduce you to the boys ahead of today's opening Nacional fixture. The ink is still wet on this young man's contract, but we have signed a new goalkeeper from Belgium by the name of Nick Gilekens. He comes in on a free transfer, as all of our signings have been. He has played in the top two divisions in Belgium, so hopefully he will be a useful addition for us. One of the players already here that was meant to be one of our better players is the beautifully named Baptiste Echevarria, who is going to be filling the right back berth for us this season. We have a Lucas Perrin, who's going to be a ball-playing defender. We're actually going to try and play a little bit of football now that we're down on the south coast of France. Husek's going to partner him in the centre of defence. We've signed a second Belgian, Arnaud Monsecourt, to play as our left back. He comes in on a free transfer as well, another player with some top-flight Belgian experience. We have dispensed with the 4-4-2. We didn't really have the central midfielders or the wingers to play it. So as deep-lying midfielders, we're going to have Tristan Mayumbu, who's only little, but he's tenacious, and he's going to be our defensive midfield option alongside Carl Madianga, who's going to act as our deep-lying playmaker. Just ahead of them is another of our new signings, Alexander Aranat, who is going to be our box-to-box midfielder and try to help out in both aspects of our play. Then we have your new favourite player, Morgan Gilavogu, who is going to play as an inside forward, no less. And then on the left side for today is a player we have bought in on loan, Eli Wahi, who is going to be an inside forward in the making, although he's also going to be a backup striking option too. Who else but Petar Musa, who's going to lead the line for us this season. So without any further ado, today's opening fixture is against Annecy, and we are going to find out whether Sporting Club Toulon are going to live up to their billing of achieving a comfortable mid-table finish, or whether we have made a horrific mistake taking a job in the south of France. So let's get into the game and see how our new boys perform. No idea how good a side Annecy are meant to be, so this is going to be a steep learning curve. Recruiting players during the summer has been tough because our knowledge of the French market was pretty non-existent. Hence why we have relied on our scouting of Poland and the Czech Republic to help us. Let's go out and get revenge for a match I have no knowledge of whatsoever. I really am not interested in talking to you. Let's see how we fare during today's game then. So Chrobry are gone, but certainly not forgotten. Our reasons for moving on really was the lack of challenge that seemed to be materialising from having a long-term save in Poland. It really was a little bit too easy. Oh, tell me that's not a sending off in the 12th. I mean, Arnaud Monsecourt on his debut. That is a blow. I am not going to lie. Do we have anything on the bench that can play as a left back? It looks like we don't. Okay, let's do some shuffling around. Let's bring you up as a wing back. Let's make you a midfield 2. You're going to carry on holding. If we can move you across, fantastic. We are going to bring you are left-footed, so you're going to be a very attacking wing-back option there. We're going to get Sahun on. Wahi makes the shortest debut in Toulon history. Okay, and let's drop it to balance. That is a hammer blow on the opening day of the season. God, Montsegur, I feel an aversion to already. But back to Chrobry. Just didn't seem to be that challenging a league to play in Poland. It was definitely fun, and avoiding relegation in that first season was a challenge for us. God, me, as we hack one clear off the line. But yeah, we just felt like we wanted to move to a country that just had that little bit more of an edge to it, where climbing your way through the leagues would be a little bit more of a challenge. So we have moved on to pastures new. Here comes the Moose. Oh, he struck the post. Husek is disallowed. It's offside. I thought our two new boys had combined for our first Toulon goal. Still not a bad performance considering we're down to 10 men. At this point, my goodness, we will definitely take a draw. What can we say to the boys to try and fire them up? Let's go passionate. Come on, lads, we can still get a result here. Just seeing whether this is indeed Anthony Letalek. It is, 36 years old. We are doing all the attacking. Husek, 6'7". Oh, what a start. And the Moose on set pieces. That's not anything I've instructed him to do. He's just making it up as he goes along, the Moose. And why wouldn't he? He's a fine young gentleman. 10 men. We're playing a 6-1-2-1 asymmetric formation. Is that really what we're playing there? Okay, but it's working for us so far. How's the fitness of the boys? Aranat is looking nervous, but that's no barrier to performing. I think we might just make a little change in the central defensive midfielders and just play Madianga back there and bring Cormet on. And let's see how that gets us to the 80-minute mark. God, if we could win this with 10 men, what a start it would be. The players weren't exactly thrilled at the arrival of a little-known English manager who's been playing his career in Poland. Do we need to make a change on the wings? I think we are going to bring Mendes on for Gila Vogu. And, do we need to hit the time-wasting instructions pretty early in our first game? We're going to do it. And we're also going to go cautious. God, is Husek going to seal us an opening day victory? He only is, down to 10 men after, 12 minutes? Going to have a little word with Montsegur after the game. But, wow, God, I'm pleased with that. Well done, boy. Get some green on the screen. 6th place after an opening day victory. That is delicious. So welcome to Toulon, everybody. Let us know what you think of the club down in the comments. We will always have a place in our hearts for Chrobry, but we just had to move to a country where we could have a bit more of an adventure, a bit more of a challenge. Could we take Toulon to Ligue 1 and take on the likes of Marseille, even Paris Saint-Germain? God, that would be an adventure certainly worth following. Thank you for everybody that's watching. A like on the video always is a pleasure, and a subscription is sweeter than God's tears to a channel like the FM LLaMa. We will see you soon for some more border adventures.